Welcome back. You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and this week we are talking about some insurance and some flooding issues and some of the things that people have been experiencing because of all the bad weather we've been having. And, we're getting into hurricane season, so there's going to be more of that, and you need to be prepared. So we're talking a little bit about that today. I'm talking this segment with one of our show sponsors, Tim O'Neill from State Farm Insurance.
Thank you.
Tim's been on the program before, and he's actually on today talking about wind and hail damage. But this segment, we are talking about a few lessons going forward with flood insurance, because I know a few people might have been caught off guard. Tim, what do you think?
It's very unfortunate for the ones who were caught off guard and actually did flood. That's an ongoing process, and we hope that they're being taken care of with FEMA and their adjusters and having all those questions answered.
Are you seeing a lot of claims?
In my personal book of business, no. We had a number of cars flooded, but I didn't get that many claims from Meyerland and that area in there. It was the hardest hit area, and I don't have a lot of business down there. But
you're more on the north side of Houston.
Certainly concerned for
you do a lot of business on the north side of Houston.
I do. Definitely concerned for those people there. But, what happened has happened. And that's terrible. And like I said, we just have to hope that they're being taken care of by FEMA and their adjusters. But what we were going to touch on was, you just dodged a bullet if. So people who didn't flood, but maybe we have their attention now.
Yes.
And so one of the things that causes the most heartache, and one of the biggest lessons of Katrina was when a lender requires flood insurance when you're closing on your property, if it's in a certain zone or has a certain elevation.
If it's in a 100-year flood zone.
Yeah, if it's in an A zone or a V zone, there's technical things. But for the consumer, it's either the lender is requiring it or they're not, and it's optional. But what trips people up is when a lender requires flood insurance, they're only requiring to have insurance on the building, not on all of your contents and clothes and your sofas and your electronics and everything. So it's possible for people to go and get flood insurance to comply with the lender and have it only covering the house. And then when there's a flood, they find out they don't have coverage on their contents. So it's just a good time to go and check and call your producer, your agent, or whoever, and make sure that you have flood insurance on both your house and contents. If that's what you want, because it's very possible.
And if you need flood insurance, you can call Tim O'Neill with State Farm. So Tim, tell me this, on your flood insurance policies, can you issue a policy today, right now? Because I know Obama said, we're in a disaster area and blah, blah, blah. So can you still write flood insurance?
I can. I haven't been notified otherwise. I'm a registered producer with FEMA, and we can...
Now, is there a 30-day wait? If I want to come and get flood insurance from you right now, is there a 30-day wait?
There's a 30-day waiting period if you're a cash buyer.
Okay.
If you have a lender, if you have a lien and a mortgage on the property, then they waive the 30-day waiting period, and the coverage goes into effect immediately upon closing. So just the difference of whether or not you're a cash buyer.
So when you go to your insurance agent, when you guys call Tim and say, I want some flood insurance, they need to say, I want flood insurance on the structure and on the contents.
If they want contents, because, depending on the policy. You got to
replace your couch and your...
You do.
And your rugs.
It's just a difficult way to find out that that people didn't know that contents wasn't assumed. You can't assume you have contents coverage. You have to ask and make sure that it's not a building only arrangement.
I know everybody out there listening right now is going to be checking their policy, make sure they got coverage on
That's what we're trying to accomplish here, right? Because we can't help the ones that have already flooded, but we can at least take advantage of this heightened awareness to point out some of those things. And the other one we were talking about, they're saying you just dodged a bullet if you have finished out your garage and maybe put a home office in there or a guest house or what have you. The flood policy only covers your garage if it's a structure that you park a car in. If you finish it and plumb it and make it into living space, a freestanding garage isn't covered anymore. You have to get a separate little mini policy on that separate building. So everybody out there who's got that home office in the garage, let's talk and make sure that it's covered adequately for flood.
With all the flood insurance changes going on legislatively, do you think that flood insurance is going to continue to go up for consumers?
It has to, on the basis that it's written on now, because, I think the figure is $16 billion with a B. The flood insurance program is seriously in debt because rates haven't been adequate and claims have been more than anticipated. So there's a built-in urgent need for rate increases in the flood insurance, just from an actuarial standpoint, but from a market impact standpoint, if if they were charging the actual premium that was indicated, it would have disastrous effects on the real estate market. And
Sure.
so they have to find a way to finance
Yeah.
flood insurance, because right now it's not working because it's $16 billion upside down. So there'll definitely be rate increases, have to be.
And hopefully they will be gradual and not, hopefully they're gonna continue to be gradual increases.
That's the trick, is finding out a way to have it have mathematical integrity and still be practical.
All right, Tim. Well, we appreciate you coming on the show today. We've got Mike Mingdon from Terra Properties calling in to answer a consumer question about a house, a rental property that was flooded. So we're going to go to a call from Mike in just a second. But thanks, Tim. We appreciate great information from you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anytime.